Missouri executes Marcellus Williams despite prosecutors' push to overturn conviction. Why the fuck does the state attorney general got such a hard-on for murdering people? Reading the AP News article. The plea deal was signed off by a judge and then the state attorney general appealed the decision to ensure this man was put to death. This is beyond cruel. My feelings go to all parties involved and I hope that the Attorney General and all others involved in ensuring he died no longer find rest they murdered him. No question about it. Greater than in August, Williams and prosecutors reached an agreement to halt his execution. He would plead no contest to first-degree murder in exchange for a new sentence of life without parole. His lawyers said the agreement was not an admission of guilt, and that it was meant to save his life while he pursued new evidence to prove his innocence. A judge signed off on the agreement, as did the victim's family, but the Attorney General challenged it, and the state Supreme Court blocked it. Even the victim's family members did not want to see this man executed. The prosecutors did not want to see this man executed. This man was failed by the courts and an attorney general whose actions are heinous. This is on you, Mike Parson. You're even less of a man than I thought, if that is possible. Mike Parson commuted the sentence of a Chiefs coach that drove drunk and nearly killed a 5-year-old earlier this year. By the way, if there's an ounce of doubt that someone may be innocent, then they shouldn't receive the death penalty. Judge to approve auctions liquidating Alex Jones Infowars to help pay Sandy Hook families. They took everything. They even took his super male vitality. Cut forward to his dad's company being the highest bidder and nothing actually changing. About fucking time. Jesus fuck. It has been goddamn infuriating that Erica Lafferty has to pay for her goddamn cancer treatment out of pocket, and out of GoFundMe donations. Meanwhile, Jones has been able to take lavish vacations with his family and hide assets and has tried to root around the bankruptcy by shoveling his listeners towards his dad's completely and totally separate company that sells the same shit-fucking supplements that Jones sold on his website. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but goddamn I hope they grind his bones to dust. Figuratively speaking. Throwing in a plug for the Knowledge Fight podcast. They listen to InfoWars so you don't have to. This just made my day. Finally, justice for this crazy posse. Who wants to bet that someone like Elon Musk buys it and hires him as an employee? Woman sues Sean Combs, alleging he drugged and viciously raped her in 2001. Harvey Weinstein kind of lawsuits incoming. Diddy is done. Greater than Sean Diddy, Combs was sued Tuesday by a woman who says that he and his bodyguard viciously raped her in a New York City recording studio more than 20 years ago after Combs had drugged her, and that the men recorded the encounter on video. Greater than Talia Graves said in the lawsuit filed in federal court in New York that she only learned of the alleged recording decades later. In November 2023, after the R&B singer Cassie sued Combs, alleging that he had subjected her to years of abuse, including severe beatings and rape, while they had dated. The singer, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, settled the suit with Combs in a day without disclosing the terms. Combs denied any wrongdoing. Greater than Graves is seeking a jury trial. It appears to be the first lawsuit Combs has faced since he was indicted last week by federal authorities in New York on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty and was denied bail. His representatives did not immediately reply to a request for comment Tuesday. Greater than according to the suit. In the summer of 2001, Combs called Graves, who was 25 at the time, and asked her to meet to discuss her boyfriend's performance issues. Greater than her boyfriend was determined to climb up the ladder at Combs Records label and as his romantic partner. Plaintiff was committed to helping him, the suit says. So she agreed to meet with Combs, greater than Combs, and Joseph Sherman, who was behind the wheel of an SUV, picked Graves up from her mother's home in Queens. The suit says. It alleges Combs, who was in the backseat, offered her a glass of wine that she accepted and that later caused her to feel lightheaded, dizzy, and physically weak. They drove her to the Bad Boy Studio in Manhattan, and as she exited the SUV, the lawsuit says, she felt odd and found it difficult to walk. The suit alleges Combs led her to a couch in a private room in the studio, where she lost consciousness. Greater than when she regained consciousness, she was naked, and her hands had been tied behind her back with what felt like a plastic grocery bag. The suit says. After she shouted for help, Sherman lifted her up from the couch and forcefully slammed her face down on a pool table. According to the suit, shortly thereafter, Combs entered the room naked. The suit says. Greater than Combs applied lubricant to himself and then raped her as she screamed out in pain. The suit alleges. It says Graves, who is 4'11" and weighed 103 pounds at the time, was unable to move, totally overpowered physically. In addition to being drugged and bound, she then lost consciousness again. According to the suit, when she regained consciousness, the suit alleges Sherman slapped her in the face and sexually assaulted her. She again lost consciousness. The suit says. Greater than when she next awoke, she was on the couch terrified, naked and alone in the room. So she quickly got dressed and fled. The suit says. JFC, hell is empty and all the devils are here. William Shakespeare. We're going to see a lot more victims coming forward now. The value of victims coming forward is it gives a voice to other victims. You never know who's been victimized. Edit. Changed phrasing to remove negative connotation. Hopeful any and all victims of this pariah will come forward to accuse him of whatever crimes he may have committed and get their day in court. Luckily, he has money to pay them for some of their damages. But most of the mental damages can never be paid back in dollars and cents. How does Guy find the time for all this raping? He really is prolific with his raping. It would be shocking if it turned out that Mr. Rogers was a sex trafficker, not so much with someone whose entire persona was basically being the Black Andrew Tate. I guarantee you that any celebrity who attended his sex parties is just playing dumb about being shocked about how he treated the non-celebrity women there. They knew. The whole industry knew. They were simply having too much fun to care about the morality of it at the time. Ty King signed same-sex marriage bill into law. Now more people can tie the knot. Good for them. Go Thailand. Great to see progress being made. Well done Thailand and Taiwan. I wonder what country in the region will legalize marriage next. Wonderful news in a world that could use more of it. Ha ha ha, get wrecked, folks. Former judge shoots himself in Orange County, New York as FBI comes to arrest him, sources say. And over only $63K in bribes. Yikes. Dude probably would have been out in a few years given typical white-collar crime sentencing. I'll admit, I assumed it was underage porn. It's possible that the judge knew something the FBI does not yet know. Wonder what else he had going on outside the bribes. Guy took $63,000 in bribes to investigate two people. Killed himself when he was going to get arrested. Just call them tips next time. Perfectly legal. Had to have been just the tip of the iceberg and knew the rest would come out during a trial.